International Cure presents a trilogy on pretrial detention, the problems, solutions, what you can do. The dictionary says justice is treatment that is morally right or fair and shows a genuine respect for people. Morally right. Fair. Respect. Each day around the world, thousands of people are arrested on suspicion of having committed a crime. They generally have no idea of the injustices to which they will be subjected. Some will spend days held in detention cells before trial. Some will spend years. Whether they are innocent or guilty makes no difference. The system is broken, and we need your help to fix it. On February of 2011, the Fifth World Conference on Human Rights, Criminal Justice, and Prison Reforms met in Abuja, Nigeria, and worked to find ways that could have a positive effect in limiting pretrial detention and lessening its severe abuses of human rights. From this meeting came the following issues and ways in which we might begin moving forward to transform the world's prison systems. We're asking you to be a part of the solutions. Consider these issues and how you might be another force for justice. Months or years awaiting trial. Without a speedy path to trial, innocent people are often imprisoned for an indefinite period of time. You and others can promote alternatives to pre-trial detention and help reduce its excessive and arbitrary use. Strive to get the authorities to deal with petty offenses through mediation or use the alternative of community service according to local customs. Guilty until proven rich. Because poor people cannot pay for legal services or pay bribes, who will speak in their behalf? With the detention of the breadwinner, families are in jeopardy of poverty or are plunged deeper into poverty. You could be the one that advocates for the poor and helpless. You could be the one that makes sure the lack of money does not lead to injustice. Too few lawyers or paralegals. Whether innocent or guilty, a person charged with a crime should have a right to proper representation and fair sentencing. Voices need to be raised so that paralegals and lawyers are able to intervene early in the criminal justice process. You can be one voice that advocates for proper and affordable legal representation. Overcrowded detention cells. Too often, detention cells are filled with 2 or 3 times the number of detainees for which they were designed. This leads to multiple problems which can be solved. You can advocate for a limitation on the number of detainees in each cell and for bail alternatives. Poor sanitation and disease. Because of often overcrowded detention cells, disease spreads easily. AIDS is a major problem in prisons. When detainees are released, they often take their diseases back to their communities. Disease and injustice spread. You can advocate for the availability of health care and work for proper sanitation within the prison. Gangs. Since people are held in limbo, those who can exercise power often inflict physical abuse and torture on others. Sometimes this is done by other detainees, and sometimes by prison officials who are trying to elicit a bribe. Demand that detention centers are properly staffed so that control can be established and gang activity curtailed. Beatings and other abuse. You can advocate for proper training and reasonable wages for staff so that they won't have to beat detainees to elicit bribes. Demand that beatings be stopped, whether by staff or by other detainees. Accept no violence perpetrated on detainees. Solitary confinement. The inhumanity of solitary, or the hole, increases with each day in confinement. Some violent prisoners need to be controlled, but at what cost to their humanity? You can advocate for those in solitary confinement, urging that only the most severely disruptive detainees be confined alone, and only for a brief time. One person can only do so much. True justice will require the work of many hands. Working with others, gather empirical evidence to document the scale and gravity of the problem. Build a forum for sharing knowledge among practitioners, researchers, and policymakers across communities. Foster sustained investment by donors and governments. Strive to pilot innovative practices and methodologies to identify effective low-cost solutions. Start or join a CURE chapter in your community, state, or country. For more information, contact CURE at curenational.org. You can make a difference. You will make a difference. The dictionary says that justice is treatment that is morally right or fair and shows a genuine respect for people. Morally right, fair, respect. You can help bring justice to millions of people. For more information, please view Part 1, the problem, Part 2, the solutions, or visit these websites.